Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you a book haul and I'm going to show all those books which I've been dying to show you people for a long time. So let's get into today's video. Okay, the first book in my book haul is Archememies by Marissa Meyer. Now this is the sequel to Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Renegades ended up being the most favorite book of mine in 2018. Now, what is this series or this trilogy about? Yes, it's a trilogy. There's one final book after Archememies. It is Supernova. I have not read this yet. After reading this, I'll get my hands on that one. And I've been meaning to read this for a very long time. Now, in this book, there are two groups of people called the Renegades and the Anarchists. Here, the Renegades are the heroes and the Anarchists, they are not villains, but they are anti-heroes inside this world. And the two protagonists of the story, Noah, the girl you see here, and Adrian, the guy you see here, are from the both groups. Adrian is one of the Renegades and Noah is one of the Anarchists, and Noah goes undercover and joins the Renegades as a renegade in order to overpower them and downthrow them as a whole due to some things which happened in her life as a kid. The first book was so well written and it was very well paced, so that it ended up being my most favorite book, and I've been waiting to get my hands on this, and once I end up reading this book, I'll try to put up a review for both this one as well as Renegades. Let's just see how it's going to go, because I'm not able to film videos as I was able to before, and you know that this is one of my videos which is coming so late after so many days. If you've been following me, let's see what's going to happen. The next book in the haul for today is a book which I've been hearing a lot of good things about ever since I started watching BookTube, and that book is Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. Now, I bought this book because it was available at a very good deal from Bookchore. If you didn't know, Bookchore has this 48 rupees book sale every month for 2 days. It's a Saturday and Sunday. Do follow them on Instagram so that you can get notified every time such a sale goes on. And this was the book for this month, and I just grabbed it because it was so much cheap compared to those available in other sites. And I've heard that this book has changed the lives of many people, and I don't know anything else about this book. And if you have read this book and you felt that it was good, please do let me know by some means, and I think I'll be reading this in April for sure. The next two books in this book haul are by the same author, and they are huge tomes as you can see here, and I've been meaning to read all of those works written by this author for a very long time, and I've read only his first book, which is Atlantis, and the author I'm speaking about is Brandon Sanderson. Now, these are the two books which I bought. They are Warbreaker and The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Now, let's just see about The Final Empire. Now, this is the first book in the Mistborn series, and the whole series is about people who can wield metals using their magic, and there are these people called the Mistlings who can manipulate a single metal, and there are other people called the Mistborn who can manipulate like 10 to 11 metals, which are all the metals that are available in this magic system. I've been meaning to read this series for a very long time because this builds up the world in a very good way, and I will be reading this for sure pretty soon. And the next one, which is Warbreaker. Currently, Warbreaker is also a standalone. I need not read any other books for reading Warbreaker, and I don't want to commit a huge series after reading this. Now, Warbreaker is about two sisters who are the princesses, and of these two, one is a bit innocent and she's being planned to be wed to a god king, and the other is kind of a tomboy kind of a person. And of these two, the tomboy kind of a person is actually wed to the god king, and the other one needs to face some other situations. I've heard that this is one of the best works by him, and though it is so big, it is very fast moving as a story. And also, the magic system in this book is based on colors. If you can see the cover, it has the streaks of colors over here, and based upon the colors which a person can take from an object, the magic inside the person can build up, and the stronger they become, and each and every part of their magic is called a breath. I have been waiting to read this. I think I will be reading this month or next month. I'm not sure about that. let's see at the end of this month. The next book in my book haul is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Now this book is a young adult/adult/ middle grade contemporary novel, and I've read only adult and young adult contemporary novels for these many years, and I've not read even a single book which is contemporary as well as suitable for children. And this one is about a boy who's born with some form of deformity in his face, and he has gone through this series of surgeries, and it ends up making his face look a bit different from that of others. And it is written from the point of view of a child who experiences the world having a differently formed face, physical deformity if you ask me. That's the main theme of the book. And I've heard that this book is so masterfully written such that it can bring you better views of how a physically different person can be. And it is also relatively a very short book. I got this on a second-hand sale, and I will be reading this soon. It's like 300 to 350 pages long. It will take just a couple days to read, and I'm waiting so eagerly to read this because I've read diverse books in a very few amount, but books that have people with physical deformities are those which I have not read that much of, and I've been waiting to get a story that will suit me. So let's see how this is going to go. The next book in my book haul is an Indian book, and it is Keepers of the Kalachakra by Ashwin Sanghi. Now this is one of the best thrillers which many people who are Indian readers suggest a lot. Now this book is a mixture of thriller, mystery, drama, and also many ancient things that are related to Indian history and Indian mythology incorporated to it. And I always love reading about mythology, and when it comes to Indian mythology, as I know it to some extent, a little extent, I'm even more pulled to read the story. And after reading this, I'll try to make a dedicated review for this if I end up liking it. And I've heard that this is one of the best starting points to read Ashwin Sanghi books, and he has this series of books called the Bharat series, and I think each and every book in the series can be read as a standalone. So after reading this, if I end up liking that, I'll pick up the other books in that series by him. Okay, the last book in this book haul is Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. Now this is a very fat big boy, and this book is the last book in the Inheritance Cycle Quartet by Christopher Paolini. Now this is a series about dragons and dragon riders, and it is mostly focused towards the middle grade audience, that is kids as well as teens in the lower end of the teenage category. And fun fact, while I was browsing through Instagram once, like 2 to 3 weeks back, I saw James Trevino's story, and he had this huge copy of Inheritance on his lap, and he had posted a story like morning reading or something, I don't remember properly. And just after I saw that, I was like, how do people get these huge floppy paperbacks while I'm not able to? And that thought just went away suddenly. And like 1 or 2 weeks after that, we had this book sale going on in my hometown, in my town, and I went there, and I was just browsing through books, and that's where I bought Wonder and this one. And as soon as I saw this one, I was like, there is God, and your thoughts, they do have power, and they are going to help you in some way. And I ended up getting this. It was like, I'm waiting for you, come and take me. And I just went, grabbed it, and the price was also so low. This actually cost like 700 to 800 rupees online, and there I got it for like 1/3 of the original price. I just grabbed it, paid, and ran away from the place, because this is like a literal steal if you ask me. And it also matches the size of the hardcovers which I own here in the series. And I don't know when I'm going to get to this, because it's a very huge fat boy. I'm not at all sure when I'm going to get to this, but I want to read this entire series. I've got to start with the second book, which I've picked twice and dropped because it was a bit boring in the beginning, but I want to read the stories because it is about dragons and dragon riders. Just think of it. Okay, now these are all the books which I have bought in the recent 2 to 3 months, if you ask me, if I'm not lying. And please do let me know something about Tuesdays with Morrie if you have read it, because I want to hear other people's opinions on this book before getting into this. And also, please be safe, wash your hands, wash your face, and keep as much of your skin unexposed while you travel outside. And even if you think that you are immune, do be clean and also use sanitizers as much as possible, because even though you are immune, you can carry the disease and transmit it to others who are not that much immune to diseases. And also stay inside if your job permits you to, because mine doesn't, and I've been going to and fro work every day, and I maintain my personal hygiene as much as I can, and I don't want to catch the disease or spread it to others just by traveling outside. Wash your hands, please do wash your hands. I know that you've been hearing this for like a million times nowadays, but it is that much important. Wash your hands, wash your face, and if you're going outside, put on a mask if you can, and also try not to cough or sneeze if you don't feel well in public, and stay home. That's the most important thing. Stay home if you can. Thank you for watching.